Dawn is breaking over Jerusalem. The east is streaked with red. And, every click of the cosmic clock brings us closer to the process for which the planet called us into existence. This is the revelation of the Gaian mind. This is the end of the fiction of civilization and the return to a kind of symbiotic dynamic with a mind whose depth and dimensionality cannot be known by the primate mind of human beings. We are literally moving into the field of a mystery. In fact, its hold on us is now so great, the channels so straight, the walls so steep, that there can't be any turning back. This is the process that was served by the chipping of the first flint, the raising of the first temple, the offering of the first sacrifice, and we now are in a position to understand this, to appreciate this process, and to communicate it to other people. Because without this model, I've racked my brain, I don't think there is a way to make sense of what is happening to the world. Many of you have heard me say, but I think it's worth repeating, what is happening here is not the death of a species or the death of a planetary ecosystem. What is happening here is the birth of a new cosmic order. And if you were to encounter someone giving birth, and you had never seen it or even heard it, your impression would be one of emergency. Blood is being shed, there's moaning and groaning and pain and pleading. It's a great leap to be able to look at this and say, aha, something wonderful is happening here. A new life is about to enter the cosmos. An individual that never existed before is about to take his or her place among us. This is what we are caught in. And, in the same way that the amniotic ocean of the womb must have seemed an environment worth preserving at all costs, so too did the naive dimensions of our resource-gobbling past. But lo and behold, the amniotic ocean grows cloudy. The food is no longer being delivered effortlessly through the umbilical cord. In fact, the walls are closing in on us. And there is a sense of suffocation, of hopelessness, of impending, because we are now in transition. We are in the planetary birth canal of a new order. And the best advice anybody can be given at this point, I think, is hang on, Hannah. You simply must believe, because there can be no going back now, that ahead of us lies an unimaginable world characterized by varieties of freedom and opportunity that it would be preposterous for us to attempt to conceive of at this point, except through the glimmering scintillas of anticipation that come to us from eternity, through dream, through prophecy, through the psychedelic experience. And if we trust in what we know and communicate this empowering vision and act as though it all depended on us and our acts of collective caring and attention to each other and the earth, if we act that way, but know that that is a fiction and that actually we are part of an unfolding process for which life was created, then I think instead of hopelessness, despair, anxiety, division, fear, and loathing, there is a replacement with hope, a sense of community, a sense of transcendental adventure. I mean, consciousness rests in us. We don't know what lies out there in the starry galaxy, and it's thin soup to await the coming of the UFO knots or something like that. Empowering adventure lies through responsibility to each other, love, and aesthetic anticipation of the transcendental realm. And when these things are put in place, the power of the naysayers and the frightened and the materialists and the control freaks and the business as usual crowd will be broken. They cannot maintain, no one is in charge at this moment. And this is good news, because it means that for the first time in a long time, these processes are beginning to unfold themselves without bearing the imprint of resistance upon them. In the end, it's all lost in radiance. And if this seems peculiar to you, the idea of a transformation of the world and a transcendence into a realm beyond imagining, recall are scheduled for death very shortly. And so it's built in for you. The only twiddle on the dial that I'm offering is that this kind of transformation lies ahead for everything. Not the death of the materialists, but the resurrection of the alchemists, the rarefaction and transformation of the human mind and body into some kind of eternal golden vehicle for the roving through and the discovery of a universe wider, grander, deeper than anything that we could imagine. And to preserve its power and its transformation, we have to keep it away from moral prescription, from too clear a definition. It is not an unsolved problem. It is a mystery. And fear kills the heart of the mystery. So we have to embrace this uncertainty, not as a problem to be overcome, but as an opportunity for shedding our pasts, shedding the monkey of history that have accumulated, and moving into a world that is literally beyond our wildest imaginings. It can't be any other way. Business as usual, as I said, is off the menu, and now it's a struggle between those who would have us lay down quietly in a kind of anesthesia anticipating ruin, or those who would have us stand up and claim our birthright and go forward into the shamanic domain of the spirit that exists when the human soul and the soul of the earth recognize each other and are united in one. And this is coming, and it's possible, and it's now. And thank you very much.